we're having a drink today. I make cocktails every Friday that I see on Pinterest because they inspire me to be my best person. So be over the age of 21 in order to try these drinks. Today, I'm not going to try a drink I saw on Pinterest. Today I'm going to do a homage to my Scottish heritage because, well, St. Patrick's Day is coming up here real soon, and I'm not Irish, not even a little bit. But I am Scottish, so we're gonna do a Scottish recipe. The drink I found is called a Rob Roy cocktail, and this was actually created by a guy who's American, but he created the drink after a character whose name is Rob Roy. What did Rob Roy do? He's a Scottish outlaw. Something about cattle and a blood oath and running from the law and his house burning down, and then later he was pardoned. I don't know. Google it. I Googled it. I still don't know. To make this drink, we are going to pour a shot of Scotch whiskey. I actually picked up, I don't know what kind of Scotch whiskey to buy, but I bought this tiny bottle of the Macallan Scotch whiskey from the Highland Single Malt Scotch whiskey. My grandfather's name is Mac, so I thought Macallan whiskey, in honor of him, would be perfect. It smells fruity, actually. Burning my mouth. No. Why do people like whiskey? I thought maybe if I bought a slightly more expensive one, it'd be okay. But it's not okay. Ugh, it's like hairspray. A half shot of sweet vermouth and 3 dashes of Angostura bitters into a cocktail. We're gonna ice it up, and then we're gonna pour it into a cocktail glass. We're going to garnish it with 3 cherries, and we're gonna love it. My grandfather drinks Scotch and martinis and whatnot, as well as my grandmother. I don't know why. My grandfather was a proud Scottish man. I feel like he would be proud of me for trying a Rob Roy cocktail. And I'm gonna try to like it for you, Grandpa, but I have bad feelings. No. No. This is so bad. Who drinks these? You know who drinks these? Great big giant Scottish men like my grandfather can handle a Scotch whiskey drink. This is disgusting. I don't think the fun should end with our Rob Roy cocktail. I don't know if it ever even started with our Rob Roy cocktail, but I thought we could make something like Scotch eggs to go with our Rob Roy cocktail. Hard-boiled eggs covered with ground pork and whiskey. You know, maybe there's a reason I've been running from my Scottish heritage. I've been too Americanized. But hey, this didn't work out. I feel like an actual recipe, a Scottish recipe, would be fun to try. So go get your ground pork, kids. We're gonna make some Scotch eggs. I'm making these Scotch eggs for you. If you could have just held on for a second on the cereal at 10 o'clock at night, I could have whipped you up a batch of Scotch eggs. Pat, I see you standing over there. Okay.
You can see me.
Yeah.
Turn it on. Take 2.
Take 2? This is like take 5. I've been trying to make these Scotch eggs. I've been making these Scotch eggs since 11 o'clock this morning. Yeah! Can I make some Scotch eggs or what?
Can I have 1 egg? Yay! I love eggs.
Eggs are awesome! Eggs are awesome! So I mixed together all of my ingredients. We've got ground pork, we got a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of honey, a little bit of ground cloves, some pepper. According to the directions, we're just gonna mix this up. We're gonna take a 1/3 cup, measure it out, flatten it into our hands like a hamburger patty, put the egg inside, and then fold the hamburger over the egg. Okay, that sounds simple. It doesn't sound like something that should have taken 12 hours to finish, and yet here we are. It's bedtime! I wonder if my grandpa ate Scotch eggs. My grandpa was a proud Scotsman. The older he got, the less tolerant he got of like rambunctious behavior in the house, even though he has like 8 children of his own. This is a Scotsman's house! I remember once asking him, I was obsessed with cats. I was just a little cat lady, even at 7 years old, and I asked him why he didn't have a cat. It made no sense why his house would, and he said that he kills cats. Like wrapping, it's like swaddle our little egg in a little meat blanket. I was like, Mom, does he really kill cats? Like, and my mom was like, it's funny because it went full circle when Kainoa was over at his house with me one day last year. He brought his Pusheen cat up to Grandpa and he was like, look at my cat, Grandpa. And Grandpa was like, I kill cats. And Kainoa was like, okay then. And he just did an about face. Like it takes a lot to kind of shut Kainoa up, and he heard that and was like, I'm gonna go. I'm excited. Let's cook that little bugger. Just gobble it right up. I don't know what I'm supposed to cook it at, but what I've learned in my experience as an inexperienced chef is that most things go in the oven at 350 degrees for about 30 minutes. So we'll go with that. Our Scotch eggs are done. Scotch? Scottish? Let's dig in. Would you look at the consistency? This one really turned out perfect. It's fully encompassed by the pork. There's a chicken in there, and it's time to let him out. It's like 11 o'clock at night now, and I'm a little delirious. Well, not in the mood to eat Scotch eggs, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it for my heritage. You know, I'm only partly Scottish. I don't even know what part I am. I think Grandpa is full Scottish. But then it, you know, then my mom and then me, it just, the waters get murky. My dad's side of the family, they're from Oklahoma, and then they always said we're Bohemian. Like, isn't that gypsies though? Like, I don't know what that is. I don't know who I am. I need to go on Ancestry, like that show where they go back to your roots and you find out that your grandparents were slave owners. I mean, maybe I don't need to go on that show. I mean, my grandparents were not slave owners. Maybe great, you know. I hope not. Let's try the egg. Look at those layers. You've got your yolk and the egg white and the beef casing around it. Or pork. Whatever. Have you ever had a hard-boiled egg and you thought, what else could we do to this? Other than just hard boil it and add salt. Surely there's a way to make this into a tasty meal. In Scotland, these are so common that you could just go to any old restaurant and they just sell them. Like Scotch, you could just grab them. It's like spam musubi in Hawaii. Like it's just a thing that they eat all the time. Needs ketchup. This tastes exactly like you might imagine it would taste like. I feel like you could make meatballs and then make hard-boiled eggs and just put them on a plate together, and if you want to take a bite with them together on one forkful, then great. Do you have to wrap it in meat and make a production of it? No. I do wonder what the deep fried version would taste like. These were supposed to be dipped in breadcrumbs and then fried. That would give us an adventure. And you know what? I'm not. It's 11 o'clock at night. I can't. It's too, no. But if I ever go to Scotland, I'm gonna get them and then I'll report back. So stay tuned. Make sure you like and subscribe. That way, if I ever do go to Scotland, you will know how this comes around full circle. What an adventure. And what a journey we've been on. What started as a Rob Roy cocktail at 8 p.m. has turned into Scotch eggs at 11 p.m. And there's no other way I'd rather spend my evening. This is just the kind of party gal I am. You never know what we're gonna end up with. Sometimes Scotch will do that to a person. And I hope it does it to you this weekend. I hope you have a good weekend. Start it off with a Scotch, with a Rob Roy cocktail, why don't ya? Or water's a good option. Always stay hydrated, guys. And I don't know, Scotch eggs. This is paleo and it's healthy. I bet it's super filling. It does need ketchup, but that's just my opinion. I think everything needs ketchup. Have a good weekend. Cheers.